We'll see if we're live actually. Hello. Morning Miller episode number 1. It's the real deal. We're gonna check and see if, let me get off this actually and come over here for a second. And we're gonna see if we're actually live real quick, because it's important to check if that's actually a thing. Let's see. Okay. Doesn't look terrible. We're live, okay. All right. Well, what is up, everybody, and welcome to Morning Miller episode number 1, where today we're just going to be chilling, talking about EA College Football 25. Hope to stream almost every morning on the channel. Obviously, that's not necessarily guaranteed because you never know what could happen within a given day. But I do want to get this going because this is primarily going to be a live streaming channel once this game comes out, which we are only a few days away from this game coming out. In fact, we're pretty much 2 sleeps away. It's how I look at it, from EA College Football 25 finally coming out. So today we get a bunch of new information. If we take a look at this here, the third gameplay I'm dropping is a full, oh my gosh, he's dropping a Flexbone gameplay. So this is literally me right now. So we're getting a lot of new information today. Oh wow, the Big 12 is in serious talks to grab 14. This is fake. This has to be fake. My goodness. So creator takeover today. So we're getting a bunch of new gameplay today from content creators. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay. So they made a playlist here. That's gonna update, I guess, with everybody posting gameplay, which is awesome. I know Bordeaux is posting his Nebraska rebuild at 10:30 a.m. I think it's Eastern time, so that'll be 9:30 our time. So this feature's gonna change my life. Oh my gosh, wear and tear. That's funny. Dude, there's so much is gonna happen today because of all this gameplay drop. Bordeaux again here. Here's some of my favorite menu screens. I live here away from the gameplay along with my fellow menu merchants. A lot more is going to be revealed in 10 hours. So, recruiting screen. So I guess this is the main Dynasty screen right here. Upgrade player, practice, top stories, weekly agenda, and then your game. Custom conferences, and then XP. Let's go ahead and go to his channel. Let's see. Yeah, so I've changed my mind. I'm dropping the Nebraska College Football 25 rebuild at 10:30 a.m., which I think that's Eastern time. So 9:30 a.m. Central time, that's gonna drop, which is awesome. Let's just go ahead and double check this. I want to keep this up, and then let's go and check. Yeah, so 9:28 a.m. is going to be his rebuild. So I think all creators are going to be able to post at 9:30 a.m. Central time today, which is going to be absolutely insane. So a lot more information today. I'm pretty sure Not the Expert is also going to be dropping a no commentary excuse me, of the Iron Bowl at 10:30, and I think this is going to be this is Road to Glory from what it looks like. I think this is his Road to Glory character at quarterback. So this is going to be big because I think this is, hopefully this is the first uninterrupted, raw, no commentary gameplay that we're going to get, which is awesome. So a lot of reactions are going to happen to this for sure. 21-20 late in the fourth quarter. It's going to be insane. And dude, this game looks incredible. Like, if you look at this here, this game looks incredible from the Road to Glory perspective. Man, super, super pumped for that today. So that's also coming out as well. As you can see, it's also trending right now. Excuse me. That's crazy. Dude, all this Georgia stuff about their players and the defenseless driving or reckless driving is just stupid. Here's some gameplay clips that we have so far, which I need to connect my, there we go. This is gameplay we have so far. KJ Jefferson at UCF. Crazy, dude. Pump fake. Nobody's open. X is open. X is open. X. That's a good scramble, though. I wouldn't have saw that. Western Kentucky. Yeah, incomplete. All these trick plays, that's funny, with Western Kentucky. Oh, that makes sense why it changed. Dot. Dude, this game's gonna play so fast. This game's gonna play so fast. B-Tech here in their uniforms. It's a great pass. And the catch on the run there, the speed. And just all the sounds sound incredible. Oh, Hurdle, what the heck?
To honor Justice, the 22-yard hash marks on UNC's football field at Kenan Stadium are Carolina Justice, who famously wore the number 22 while he played.
Dude, all these details like that are just crazy. Here's this picture, dude. This also just looks incredible. I've seen this camera angle as an option. I don't think it looks terrible. I don't think it's one that I would necessarily use myself in the game. But it does look good, though. Dude, we're literally going in. This is wild.
Team specific.
I'm in the game. So I wish QJB posted some of his gameplay at LSU with no commentary. That would have been awesome because I'm an LSU fan. But let's just listen in here.
You have to hold down the L.
So, third down, Tiger Stadium. They have a bell going on third down.
Which ended up being the gritty.
It sounds awesome. Also, let's see if I can find a turnover. So pick six. So on every third down stop and interception, they play a certain song.
Jalen, if you throw my way,
Let's see if we can get it
I
here.
am gonna make you pay. That's exactly what
Come
I
on.
do.
Boom, 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 boom. LSU. So they play a song. I don't even know what it's called. LSU. This is so sad that I don't know what this is called. Actually, it's not sad, but Chinese Bandits. Duh, I knew that. Ready? So they play this song every third down, or excuse me, anytime the defense gets a stop on third down or a turnover, they play this song, Which, who knows? This could have been an NCAA 14. It could have been.
You have to hold
And
down
they
the L trick
and they play that here as
and hit
well.
up on the right stick at the same time in order to
Which he
pull
doesn't. For some reason, he bumps his own music in the background. But you can hear the end of it right here.
Exactly what I do.
Bum, 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 bum. And they play the other song. Go Tigers. Everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. Any detail you would find in the stadium, it's in the freaking game. It's literally insane. And then we can get once again he pumps in his own music here, which is his style, and that's great. But so there'll be different music right here. Welcome to Death Valley. I mean, this just, come on, bro. Like, this is crazy. This is freaking crazy. And here they come. Got the cannon going off. Fireworks where they're at. Team comes out. Then Bama comes out from the correct area. Like, it's just crazy, man.
A Saturday night LSU versus Alabama game, and what makes it even better, we're ranked number 3, and Bama is ranked number 5.
Let's see if we can
so
wait and get this natural
this is
third down.
getting good, doing my thing, confident,
Yeah,
especially
so
as a
third down.
freshman that's out here shining.
Here comes the bell.
But one thing you need to remember, it only takes one team
Third down
to
bell.
be able to humble you.
Crowd's going crazy.
And I'm hoping that it's not Alabama.
People are
So
standing.
on third down, we have to make sure that we come out here and get a stop.
Just, it's literally incredible. Like, man, I'm going to be spending way too much time at this game. Way too much time, and I literally can't wait. Literally can't wait. I also want to pull this stream up just in case we are getting any comments and whatnot, which we probably aren't, but that's okay. So Inception right here. Also checking the quality. It looks fine. The camera is kind of not the best quality, but is what it is. Anyway, dude, yeah, we are close. And then obviously not the expert here with the first Dynasty.
I'm going to be showing one full season of Dynasty mode and showing you a complete guide on how to recruit. Thanks to EA for allowing me to capture this early.
So this video has actually been getting, we shouldn't say a lot of backlash. That's an incorrect statement, but people are mad that he was able to get a 5-star. Mad.
This is on an earlier build and not part of the day 1 patch. I'm assuming most people will want a challenge in their first rebuild, so I'm going to be showing you what it's like controlling a 1-star program.
There's no star programs. So I'm taking over Sam Houston State. If they're in no star program, that is
Challenge
ridiculous.
in their first rebuild, so I'm going to be showing you what it's like controlling a 1-star program. Kennesaw State is one of the lowest overall rated teams in the game, and I think it'll be a great example of what it's going to look like when you're a lower star team. You can be a head coach and you create your own coach, so that's what we're going to do here. So when choosing a coach, you have, if you so choose.
It's funny. So their coach in the game, so you can, I guess, go ahead and be their coach. So their coach in the game is already a level 22. I could be wrong about that, but I'm assuming that that's their coach in real life. Obviously not his name, but the game is saying that he's a level 22, and then you'll take over at level 0. So starting a new coach in any regard is going to be hard because you're starting at level 0.
More interesting, you create your own coach, so that's what we're going to do here. So when choosing a coach, you have to decide what is your main archetype going to be right from the get-go. You got motivator, recruiter, and tactician. Later on, I'm going to go way more in depth for a coaching abilities tier list, but for this video, we'll keep it light. You can look at motivator as an easy way to get XP for your players over the long haul. Tactician is going to give you direct ratings boosts right away. So if you're trying to be win now, I'd probably go tactician. If you're trying to develop players of...
So I am going to go motivator. Now, everybody and their mother I know is going to go recruiter. Like, I get it. That's okay. We waited this long for this game. We want to be motivated or recruiters. That's fine. But when you start at a smaller school, you're not going to be able to get 5 stars, 4 stars at all. Maybe at Sam Houston State, not even 3 stars regularly. And what I mean by that, as you'll see later in this video, he's able to get a 5-star and a few 4-stars. But the difference is he's only able to bring in about 14 or 15 players in the class because he gave up all his resources to sign these big guys that other schools overlooked. And so if you want to bring in a competitive class of 22, 23 plus players at your school, you're going to have to recruit according to what your school can handle with how many recruiting hours you get. And so if I'm bringing in a bunch of 2- and 3-star guys, because I'm going to be at smaller schools for a while, I'm not going to get to LSU overnight. And so we're going to be a motivator. Because it says under the motivator screen, left hand part of the screen right here, it says, get your players to play their best by boosting their ratings and composure. Nobody has it better than us. And so a big part of this is you're going to get a big XP gain for certain position groups that you choose to upgrade in the off season. And so you're going to see better progression for freshmen that you bring in. And so that's why I'm going to choose motivator, because we're going to need to maximize the potential of the guys that we bring in.
Of the long haul, go motivator, but I think what everyone is going to be choosing from the get-go is going to be recruiter, and it makes it way easier to bring in higher overall players. So that is what I'm going to be choosing for this video. Choosing your playbook is incredibly important for your team.
Now what's cool is your assistant coaches, their skill trees are going to help you. So my objective is, obviously you cannot select your assistant coaches year number 1 when you first start, but the first off season, I'm going to fire both of my assistant coaches, and I'm going to try and sign 2 assistant coaches that are good in the recruiting skill tree to help us recruit. So I'll be the motivator, and then I'll sign 2 coaches that are good at recruiting, and maybe tactician, we'll see, and then we'll go from there.
Your team needs, because if you run an air raid offense, you're going to need way more wide receivers than if you did a run heavy option, for example. For this one, I'm going to keep it as Kennesaw State's default at the pistol. You notice we can set the pipeline for my head coach. Because Kennesaw State is just outside of Metro Atlanta, I think it'd be smart to have that as my pipeline, because this can directly stack with my team's pipeline already. Now you only got 2 options for.
So regardless of where I go as a coach, my pipeline's going to be Texas, because that's the area that I know the most. What's thankfully easy is I'm starting at Sam Houston State, but then hopefully we'll, goes to a school bigger later on.
For shirts here, you got the polo, the sweater, quarter zip thing, so that's what I'm going with. Kennesaw State is a brand new FBS team, so they have no history here, which is going to have the contract goals be incredibly low at only winning 4 games. So I've got a lot of breathing room here as a head coach. When you actually sign the contract, your coach physically signs it in there, which I think is neat. When we get to the coaching abilities tree, you'll notice that there is a ton of different options here. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a coach abilities break.
This is so deep. This is so freaking deep. So we know that the first 3 you can choose are recruiter, motivator, and tactician. But look at this, talent developer. So what I plan on doing is spending the first bit of my points on motivator and then recruiter. And so as you can see here, have 2 players drafted in the first round, spend 25 points in motivator and 25 points in recruiter. So once I do that, I will then unlock the talent developer archetype, which is going to be huge. When you get this, bonus XP when a player maxes a skill group. So that means that there's bonus XP for me, for everybody. It's just, this game is so deep in that regard.
Breakdown later on, so stay tuned for that video. Don't want to overwhelm you. Like I said, I'm going to think is neat. When we get to the coaching abilities in this game, do need some prerequisites for certain ones, like talent developer. You need to have 2 players drafted in the first round, and you need to have spent 25 in recruiter and motivator. And all the way at the top for
CEO, elite head coach who has won a national title. This is crazy. So win 2 national championships and spend 100 coins in any tree.
CEO, you need to win
additional XP for winning bowl games or national title.
2 national championships and spend 100 in any tree. So some of these you're not going to.
We like this.
For CEO, you need to win 2 national championships and spend 100 in any tree. So some of these.
Program builder, head coach who can oversee everything. So win 5 playoff games. So it looks like program builder is what you would get. So like you're leveling up. So any of these in the center right here, it just depends on how you spend your points. But then these are the two highest ones that eventually you'll level up to. So bonus XP when a school grade or prestige increases.
Some of these you're not going to...
Architect. So this motivating tactician. I want to pause.
EO, you need to win 2 national championships and spin 100 at any tree. So some of these
you're... Culture setter, who is strong in player development, which unfortunately doesn't...
For CEO, you need to win 2 national championships and spin 100 at any tree. So some of these you're...
Gain XP when a player levels up. So what's interesting is this is not the one that I'm going to be getting. I don't think. I don't know the requirements for it, but what it looks like is my build will eventually level up to talent developer first because I'm going to be doing motivator and recruiter
in this game. Do need some pre.
So the end build I'm going for, I think, is super realistic actually. So I will spend most of my points in motivator and recruiter, and then I will have my coordinators be tacticians primarily because they're going to be the ones that give us the on the field boost.
Prerequisite: you need to win 2 option to get to for quite some time.
Strategist is tactician and recruiter. Bonus XP for each prospect visiting for a win.
For this video, I'm going to be only focusing on the
recruiter, and even in this, there's a next level of the first archetype that you choose. So I can be a master motivator. So right now you get extra XP for signing a recruit, but then sign 2 top 5 recruiting classes and spend 15 recruiter to get elite recruiter.
On the recruiting tree, there's a basic recruiter path, and
then there's freaking stuff you can upgrade within each one.
Elite
Crazy,
recruiter
bro.
One later on, but to get to elite recruiter.
So elite recruiter, QBs gain additional interest for every 10 hours spent. My school grades have a larger impact on QBs. Boost the pipeline, boost item purchase. Dang.
You need to sign 2 top 5 recruiting classes and spend 50 coach points in recruiter. This is broken down by position group. Now, how you want to build your team is up to you.
And what's cool is that it's broken down by position group, so you're not going to be an overpowered recruiter, hopefully.
But I personally like to look at the quarterback first and build out from there. Smart people would probably go to the offensive or defensive line, especially because
more
when you
players,
upgrade advanced look, it takes less time to fully scout a position. And for offensive and defensive line, this encompasses quite a few positions: left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle, and obviously for the defensive line, all of those. So you could probably get more benefit spending it over here versus at the quarterback one, but I value the quarterback position so much, so I'm going to spend my 5 points right here, and I'll probably use my points elsewhere once I get more. The preseason is an incredibly important time for the recruiting stages. The reason for this is you have more recruiting hours to spend here than you would during a regular week, because your team's not preparing for games kind of thing. But you can see this up on the top right. At Kennesaw State, we have 450 hours to spend right now. Now, your recruiting hours is directly tied to your team prestige. So if you're a team like Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, those like 5-star programs, those schools have way more resources to use. So their recruiting hours is like probably 1,000 or more. So that's more than double what we have to use. You're going to be able to scout way more players than we will, and they can go be more targeted in your approach. Like recruits, C-, so that could easily be up.
Team needs, here we go. So he needs 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 1 fullback. Dang, dude. A lot of team needs because rosters are bigger this year too.
Upgraded. And honestly, a lot of these positions need to be upgraded, but not having a fullback on roster, that's just disrespectful. So we got to change that right away. But our
and then defense, what you saw.
But not having a fullback on roster, that's just disrespectful. So we got to change that right away.
He needs, so rosters are bigger this year, so you're going to have to really focus on your team needs and make sure you're bringing in what you need. And that's going to mean, like, you may not be able to put all your resources into a top guy because you have to fill your team needs. Like, you can't not field a team. You can't not have depth with wear and tear. Like, you have to be very strategic in who you're recruiting.
way. But our quarterbacks are only in the 60s, so that means our playing time for the new recruits coming in is going to be massive. Most of them are going to be over 60 something overall. The first thing you'll see is a recommended tab here. This is what the game is trying to help you get players that will be easier for you to get. On the
recommended, interesting.
Far left, you can see these little green dots. This will let you know if a player is interested at any
all the one
level.
stars.
You can see I sort right here. This guy has no interest. We'll let you know if a player is interested at any level. You can see.
Dang, yeah, dude. So everyone that's interested that already has them in their top 8, they're all 1 stars. From this screen that I can see.
I sort right here. This guy has no interest in us yet. You can also sort by the interest one. We'll show you.
Whoa. 3-star QB has them 3rd on interest. So I would go after him immediately if I was this player.
You directly which number he's at.
3. So, I mean, if any 3-star, you have to recruit at a school like this. Like, even if it's not a team need, I'm going after a 3-star. Because that's probably like the highest player that you're going to be able to get regular interest from. Now, what sucks is he's from Washington, so that's not going to be a pipeline state. But still, any 3-star you're going to have to go out there for sure. Let's go like this.
Like this 3-star quarterback, Daniel Cohn, we're number 3 on his board right now. You can also see if he's a JUCO player or a high school player. Daniel Cohn is in high school. He's got no offers currently. Sorting by this is going to be really important later, which I'll show you. And then finally, you can look at height and weight, but no longer can you look at 40 time. You can't look at bench press, squats, or anything like that. But the way I like to populate my board is by going to any state and narrowing it down from here, because this opens it up and you'll notice all these players that are completely grayed out. This is because they have deal breakers that we do not fit. A lot of the 4 and 5 stars in the country care about things like pro potential, championship contender, and high coach prestige, things like that. As a brand new program, we really are not able to fit those needs. However, there are some players.
So deal breakers are a huge deal. And at a smaller school, the biggest pitches you're going to have are going to be playing time and then proximity to home. So if you can pitch playing time, do it.
Players that can slip through the cracks here. Like, we see this 5-star defensive end. He cares about playing time, which he's going to be way better than anyone we currently have on roster. So there is a small chance we're able to sneak in here and get him. I'll add Arthur Quick to the board just so you can take a look at him. You'll notice scrolling down, some players have deal breakers that we can see and some don't. But noting what they have can be very important because players have 3 ideal things that they care about the most, deal breaker being the one that they're the most passionate about overall. And getting to know that information early makes it way easier to start recruiting them. Like for Arthur Quick's example, we know the thing he cares about most is playing time, and we have A+ in that, meaning it's going to be way easier to pitch.
But also, I mean, these guys probably should be scheme fits too. Like, you don't want to recruit a guy and then he just doesn't like your play style. I mean, you know, it's hard.
Him for that, but I'll explain more about that later on. But if you see something over a B here for deal breaker, I think there is potential that you could land this player. Keenan Baker is an athlete, but it looks like he's a scrambling quarterback. And his proximity to home is A+. We have the lowest tier pipeline influence, but that could still come at an advantage. The only danger here is you'll look at the top schools down here. The schools we'll be competing against is Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Tennessee, Ohio State. So if they even...
Because he's the 457th ranked player in the nation. I don't know.
Thought about looking at Keenan Baker, we'd probably be in trouble. Either way, I'm still going to take a look at him and see if they ignore him, because he currently has no offers. Daniel Cohn has already got a deal breaker on us now.
That's because so this dude wanted playing time, and I think he added other quarterbacks to his board, and then the playing time actively changed, which is that's a huge
because we've been populating our board with other quarterbacks. You see, Daniel Cohn has playing time at higher, but it dropped lower because we added these blue chip prospects ahead of him. So if we wanted to really chase after Daniel Cohn, we would need to take these guys off the board. So you're like, what happens when I remove all these players? Suddenly, his playing time goes back to an A+. Now let's scout Daniel Cohn, see what he's looking like as a 3-star player. Well, now I clicked one time on...
That's not bad.
I see his 85 throw power, which is not really what I'm looking for.
You're at Kennesaw State, bro. What are you looking for?
Scout this 5-star Arthur Quick, which we do not have the quicker scout for defensive linemen. So it takes 1, 2, and 3 clicks, and we see that he's a gem for a 5-star, so this guy is a tremendous football player. But you can see how you could spend a lot of points just scouting players. Even at full scouted, you will not see the players full overall. It's on you to look at their top 10 attributes based on their archetype to make a decision on how you feel about them as a player. I feel like this adds another layer to scouting. It's more about finding players that fit what you want to go for more than just looking for the highest overall. Put a player like Arthur Quick, yeah, he's probably going to be pretty good. My guess is he's in the high 70s range, which is probably one of the more elite freshmen you can get. Now, one strategy you could do is you could look at, well, this guy's a 5-star. Even if he's a 5-star bust, that's still a 4-star quality player. So that's still a good player you're getting. So you could look at the 5-star a little more curious. And if we look at Arthur Quick's overview, a 5-star, get him, just not take a chance at, you know. And in the preseason, 5-star player at a 1 strategy with these other, I just hope he's good. 5-star I can get here. I find that to be a little bit more challenging because you only have limited hours to scout, so you're not really going to know what you're going to be getting. The 2 stars have a lower floor. I'd much rather take ones you do land. They both have playing time as their deal, so he's one already for Clay, but make a...
Now look at this 4-star. He doesn't have high schools recruiting him, so I think that's something that we could look at too. It's like, okay, he's a 4-star, but he doesn't have that many big schools recruiting him. Texas State is in his top 8, so like, could we compete with that? Maybe.
Max is a higher overall than Clay is here, so I guess I could try to ignore Clay, but they could probably both be Deadeye. Overall player, good accuracy, 85 deep is strong. There's a lot of coach abilities under the tactician path that can help you with short for a player. Achieve, because the higher pro... And you're probably asking, why am I talking about? We're not going to have high proximity. You can see over here the quarter to programs, but none of them have the proximity to home.
So this is the QB that he gets eventually.
Home pipeline tier bonus from Louisville, Kentucky, except for Louisville and Kentucky, of course, but they're lower on the board right now. So I'm going to take a chance on Logan here. He's got some good...
Deal breakers are a huge deal. They're a huge deal. So like this player, his deal breaker is proximity to home, and he can offer that at A-. And so that's going to be the thing that weighs most in this player's recruiting battle. So that's something you have to look out for.
And good quality. Speed 91 on the deep throw. Marie looks like, ever seen that? I think we need... I'm clearing up board. And we have the extremely high on this board. I'm going to flip over there because my strategy... The reason I'm doing I can cast less, even if they are busts. So at my level, I'd be totally set on because you're definitely going to be losing this game. But I do sense of how season. The first guy I want to check him at scholarship.
Crazy.
The hope of getting generational speed out here is probably top 8 races for this 3-star fullback. Forgotten a 5 gem. Love to see the best players tick here. Me, so our only 350 to get Keenan Baker. I still can't resist. I'm going to send the house and try as much as possible to get him because it's not often you see freaking G. Sounds fun. Be careful. And Salvador an easy is a gym 89 a lot of guard in a way. Caleb really want to do is offer them a scholarship before you do.
It's so deep, like all the stuff that you can do in this game. Like we'll spend hours in dynasty mode, like just everything recruiting wise. So look at this. I wonder if he talks about this.
Now, Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina are making way more progress than I am, but I'm not giving up hope in this fight because we've snuck into this first round. We're also still in the race for Logan.
So as you can see, proximity to home is Wisnowski's deal breaker. And so he was able to, he's in Georgia, pitch this, and he's now 3rd on this guy's board. Now also, none of these bottom 4 teams have offered him a scholarship. It's only Kentucky, Florida, and Kennesaw State. So these are all things that you have to pay attention to in recruiting. Like if all these people have offered him, maybe you back out. But for some reason, no one's offering him besides these 3 schools. And it could be because he was a deal breaker And so I would stay in this race for sure.
Wishnowsky, because I dropped 50 points his way too. We send the house at both of them, which is the only reason we're still holding on. But because I added these players that have no scholarship offers, this is a real chance for me to leap up here. I'm going to scout him just out of curiosity, and this player has 97 speed. That's a huge interest for me. I love the deep threat players, so I think I want to be aggressive with him. Let's go straight up, sit in the house for him. And we're seeing that lasting effect on Salvador Pujols. No one offered him a scholarship. Then we came in here, offered him a scholarship, sent the house, and now we are number 1 on his board. The number 4 center in the country, we could be having a chance to get him. That's because we were paying attention, looking around, and seeing what we can get. Now, because I want to show you more than just recruiting here, I want to show
gameplay.
Football, the atmosphere absolutely exhilarating as a George Hayes match based on the
he loses big time,
and
which is realistic.
Keep trying to
bad. Like
obvious, we have a long way to rebuild if we're getting beat by
that.
60 points. Touchdowns, first downs. Here, I'm going to put it in most influential, so my recruiting actions have bigger impact. And I'm also going to go increase weekly recruiting hours for quarterbacks. Originally, I could only spend 50 hours on a specific recruit. If I go over to a different position,
so now he gets
to a higher level,
do more.
It'd be awesome because our recruiting actions have even way bigger effect on QBs. And it looks like my defensive coordinator has it too, but they're primarily for defensive players. Effect offensive coordinator, he's an elite recruiter to a higher level. And you're he's still capped at the 50 because I do not have the
shows us here his coordinators
to bring that up to a higher level. And your coaching ability.
So his offensive coordinator is an elite recruiter. So anything that he puts in a recruiter, it stacks with this guy, which is crazy.
These can stack with your coordinators. Offensive coordinator.
So as you can see, his coordinator has a lot of stuff into the offense side of the ball for recruiting. So recruiting actions have bigger impact on quarterbacks have less time to scout. So all this is going to stack with the head coach of the team, which is a huge deal.
Coordinator, he's an elite recruiter. This is going to be awesome because our recruiting actions have even way bigger effect on QBs. And it looks like my defensive coordinator has it too, but
so defensive coordinator also is here, and he's a recruiter, but he's on the defense side of the ball. So it just everything to think about when signing coaches, all that stuff.
Defensive players.
It's crazy.
The coaching abilities can stack and have a bigger effect. Now I have a cap of 65 hours I can spend on him each week, so I'm going to get to that level. We're going to DM him and search his social media. We're really trying to compete with those top dogs. Literally, Georgia's number 1. They're the dogs. Keenan Baker's now up to his top 5 schools, and we're still in there barely at number 4. So now it opens up the ability to schedule a visit, and honestly, with the competition we have here, I'd probably try to schedule this as
I love how they said that after the visits, they'll probably make their decision. So your visit's a big deal because that could be the finisher to get the player. And I love that because it's like, let's just say you're in a duel with 3 teams, you're in the top 3, and then you know that, okay, games coming up against Liberty, I'm going to schedule at this game, then there's more on the line for that game. So starting off as a small school, I'm going to be at Sam Houston State, it gives a lot of meaning to these lower conference games because I know, man, if I win this game, I'm going to gain a lot of, points for this prospect that I may even get to recruit after this game. It's a big deal.
As soon as possible. And the benefit for us is we already know his deal breaker. So if you didn't know his deal breaker, you would have to start doing pitches. Usually you would not want to hard sell him right away. But I already know proximity to home is his deal breaker. It's not shown right here, but that's going to be one of the check marks on the interest here. Each player has 3 check on them. You can definitely know he cares about try to schedule a visit. This costs 40 late against FCS, which is the Pandas. Shout out UGF. I'm getting no. It's going to be a massive down. Need a team higher rank.
So as you can see, when you play a higher tier opponent, you will have more of a boost for a win, but not as much of a loss. So I would always try and go for a bit of a higher tier opponent and see if you can get that win.
Higher ranked than me, like later on in the season. An activity for them to do. You definitely want this to be one of the check marks. Ideally, you want this to be their deal breaker, though. We already know his deal breaker, friends and family, that I want more than anyone else. Change something or like he locks me out. And because I have no competition for him right now, I'm fine with spending just a little bit on him without going all in. I'm saving the all in for these quarterbacks, which is what I really want here. I'm being uber aggressive of linemen. Logan Wisnowski, though. Kentucky is falling down the list a little bit, though. They're not using their Tier 4 pipeline to their advantage. Maybe they're not spending enough points like we are. Maybe they don't have the coaching abilities we do. This would be my first ever 5-star at a 1-star program, so I'd be hyped. Like, it's like, so he's definitely
crazy.
This idea, as long as you, there's not really much I can do with that as a 1-star program.
He could get Wisnowski, and he does, which is crazy. So there's possibilities here to get any player you want, but it's the balance. Like I said, he didn't finish with that many players in his class, and I mean, with how many players you need to bring in, I don't know if that's the best strategy to do. So yeah, once again, we're getting this at 9:30. It's crazy. Dude, like, we are absolutely hype, almost time. Like, just, we are freaking ready. We're getting our first Wishbone gameplay today. Dude, man, we've waited. We've waited for very, very long. Oh, man. It has been years. Neyland Stadium looks awesome. Like, I just can't believe that we're finally here. Like, so much has happened. Like, let's just look. Okay, 2014 college football season. So the last time that we got a game, Ohio State won the championship. Marcus Mariota, which I feel like that's incorrect. I feel like it would be this season because of how releases work. Yeah, it'd be this season. Yeah, so Jameis Winston won the Heisman Trophy. Florida State won the championship. That's crazy. Alabama is preseason number 1. Dang, the Pac-12 was ranked 1 in conference. Stanford won that conference. Let's look at the SEC that year. Because I was a LSU. I'm still an LSU fan. So preseason they were 12, got to 6, finished 14. Oh my gosh. Dude, yeah, all these wins are vacated technically because of Les Miles. That is freaking hilarious. All wins. 2015. That's crazy, bro. Vacated all wins. That's wow. You know, you don't think about that very often, but like, I was at games that year. I was at games 2014. That's just crazy that they vacated all wins. So Auburn won the West that year. Oh yeah, this was a freaking weird year. Missouri made the championship game. South Carolina was good too. I miss when South Carolina was good, genuinely. All of our bowl games right there. Auburn won the championship. Dang, that's crazy. Wait, no, Florida State won the championship. The frick, what is this talking about? Oh, because SEC. So there you go. So Florida State was the champion the last time we had a college football game, which is just crazy. Let's look at leaders. Derek Carr with pass completions. Winston was a great freshman, rushing touchdowns. Reynolds, Devontae Adams was playing. Brandon Cooks was playing. I mean, so much has changed since then. I mean, it's crazy all the time that's passed. You know, since we've had a college football game, it's crazy. Like, You don't think of it like that, but it's true. So much has changed since we've had a college football game. And we're almost there, man. We're absolutely almost there. This is going to be a cool video too. All the trick plays added. Am I following John Alert? Can I like just mute John Alert? I don't want that ever again. This tweet, bro, was in 2021. It's been 3 years. I remember right where I was. I was at work when they tweeted this. It's coming back. Like, and they delayed the game, thankfully. Smart decision by them to delay the game. You know, like, just, they've made so many good decisions in this development cycle. That's incredible, and we're almost there. We're almost there. So, thank you guys for watching this first edition of Morning Miller. I will not be able to do this tomorrow or Monday. We have someone coming to stay at our house, but Tuesday we'll be back with Morning Miller. And then when College Football 25 comes out, we're going to be live streaming all Dynasty. So Dynasty will be live streamed. I may post some short form videos, but I'm mainly going to be doing reels. So I will take video from the live streams and make a reel to then push you guys to watch the live stream. That's the most efficient thing for me to do in my current stage of life, but we'll try and get Morning Millers going more often. That way we can have a little touch in the college football world and just gaming in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. EA College Football 25 is so close. We are 2 sleeps away to get to Monday, and then we're going to be live with some Sam Houston State University Dynasty